All right, everyone. We are here with Danflesh, who's going to be playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, the all bosses slash mini bosses unrestricted run on PC, and we're very, very excited. First, want to say hi Dan and hi Holm. Would you guys want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, I'm Danflesh and I speedrun Sekiro, and I'm an unholy beast who conquered Sekiro in less than an hour. But yeah, gonna do the all bosses, mini bosses unrestricted, and hopefully Holm will do the good job commentating with me.
Yeah,
You
hi,
also.
I'm Holm.
Oh, sorry, Holm.
I also speedrun this game.
Awesome. It's
Yeah.
so nice to have you on here. I also wanted to just quickly say that we do have a bid war for this run. So you can choose for the ending of this run. You can choose to have the Purification or the Immortal Severance ending. Do you want to maybe give a word on that?
Yeah, so basically there are 4 endings in the game, one of which we will not go for because it locks out like half of the game, which is not the goal of all bosses, mini bosses. And yeah, there are 3 other endings, which 2 of them we obtain naturally through killing all the bosses. So yeah, you can affect the ending choice: Purification ending or Immortal Severance.
All right. Cool. Well, ready to take it off whenever you are.
Yeah, so
And good
I guess. Yeah, thank you. We will need good luck. This game is evil sometimes. So hopefully it's gonna be as smooth as possible. So yeah, I'll count down when to start, which is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we start in the tutorial area, and yeah, there is brand new tag found by Ramonchi, who is a no-hit god gamer. And hopefully I don't die too many times. I don't die too many times showcasing it. It's supposed to save a little bit of time. But yeah, it's very new. I barely practiced it, but it looks cool, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, essentially you can lock onto the enemies and it will give you a different jump animation. So generally here we can't sprint because we don't have the sword yet. So we would be jumping, and jumping is slightly faster than just walking. And the part that's actually fast is the ascent. So we land faster with the locked on animation and can jump more.
Let's go, dude. I haven't died. That was actually not too bad. Probably not super perfect, but not too bad. I guess you can talk a little bit about no subtitles while I'm gonna be starting out.
So we're playing without subtitles. Also, there was a little glitch there, a little funny glitch that lets you grapple early.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running without subtitles because it lets you skip certain parts of the dialogue. It lets you skip certain parts completely, and other parts it just speeds up a little bit. So generally we still have to do a few like talking to NPCs, but otherwise we can skip most of it.
Yeah, and we already killed the first mini boss. Like in the tutorial, there is this guy with a sword. He doesn't drop anything valuable really, but yeah, he's a mini boss and he disappears once you leave the tutorial area. So yeah, we have to kill him. Actually, a lot of routing in this run is tied to the fact that some bosses just disappear from the game after certain portions of progress being made. So sometimes we're gonna clear out the bosses early, not because, you know, it's super optimal and it wouldn't be worth coming back later, but because they will just disappear later.
Yeah. Ideally, we would do them later once we have our setup, because we'll get basically infinite buffs later.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just died. Genichiro doesn't count as a boss, by the way, because he's just, you know, beating him there doesn't give you any rewards, and you don't really beat him, actually, even if you successfully kill him there. So, yeah, it's not worth the speedrunners' time to fight Genichiro like no-hit runners, because we can take hits. But yeah, we actually gonna beat quite a few early game bosses back to back here. at the beginning, exactly because like some of them will disappear and some of them not worth coming back to later. And this first guy is very similar to the one we fought in the tutorial area. And that's the first time we start using, I mean, actually not the first time, like in the tutorial we already used the dead angles. And dead angles is a very, very, very, very, very essential part of the combat in speedrunning of this game. So basically by attacking enemies, like by attacking away from the enemies with a certain angle, sometimes they're just unable to block your attacks. And that way you can stun lock enemies very successfully without them not being able to do much. There are different variations of dead angles, which like the one I used there was like 5-hit dead angle, I call it at least, where you circle around using different combo animations. But there is also like 180 dead angles that I'm really bad at, but I will try to use them on the next like general fight that we're gonna have. And yeah, generally the speedrun is full of action because there are like 50-ish bosses in a game, bosses and mini-bosses. So you fight enemies a lot. And yeah, it's time for Ogre. Ogre is a pretty scary boss, especially if you fail the opener, which hopefully won't result in me dying.
Yeah, Ogre is our first enemy in this run that actually uses poise. So like 10 hits is gonna make him stagger, but usually most other things will stagger in 1 hit, which is also why dead angles are so powerful, because we can basically continuously stagger some enemies, like you saw on the first guy, because he would stagger in basically anything you could do that touches him past his guard.
Yeah. There is also important part, like whenever you die for the first time after you started a new game, you will get the cutscene, and that cutscene takes a long time to trigger, actually. So enemies can recover a lot of resources, like a lot of poise. I failed. As you can see, like while I'm waiting for the cutscene, General just standing there casually.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the core tenets of Sekiro combat, is trying to avoid the enemies recovering back their posture by a combination of being aggressive and lowering their HP to actually lower the rate at which they would recover.
Yeah. That is also pretty important. Okay, that was a very, very bad fights, I have to admit. I'm gonna take the idol here, even though I shouldn't. Like normally you don't pick up this idol because it's not used later in the game. But for the marathon purposes, have to take it. So I'm actually using mouse and keyboard for certain skips. Maybe I get the double canyon. Unlikely, but yeah, RIP. Yeah, okay. Didn't get either double or Urus Canyon, but we're gonna get regular canyon hopefully. So like this section of the game in the canyon, it's like the double canyon is a pretty difficult delayed jump. I guess we can also describe delayed jumps in a bit because of the obu skip, which also utilizes delayed jump tag. And delayed jump is basically you just jumping from the very edge of the collision. But because this game having, I'm actually gonna take this idol as well, because if I die to bull, it's gonna be pretty long run back. If you jump from the very edge, your character usually hits the invisible barrier that prevents you from falling off when you are not sprinting, when you're just walking around. And that barrier prevents your jump from pushing you forwards from the ledge. But if there is no barrier on the surface, or if you jump after after you cross the barrier and there is still a little bit of collision space for you to jump from, you can actually get a very extended jump length, which will help you to cover much greater distance. And this much greater distance opens up a lot of like skip possibilities in this game, such as Gyobu skip, if I wouldn't fail the jump here. You can see specifically that when I'm walking off from this tower roof, I'm trying to go to the right exactly because of this barrier thingy. Because if you try to walk off more to the left, there is this invisible barrier that prevents you from falling off. While if you jump from the right side of the roof, it's just super easy because there is no barrier, therefore nothing stops your jump animation from like going forward. It's a pretty weird kind of thing, but yeah. The hardest delayed jump in the run is Double Canyon, which we've already went past, so should be chill. Should be chill also for Gyobu to die. This is kind of RNG element to it, because it takes different time for him to die there.
Yeah, and also as we exited that fight, we were starting something called an aggro chain, which you'll see in a moment what we'll do after this fight. So yeah, Bull is another boss that uses poise. We'll start off with the deflect, and then we hope to be able to do 5 to stagger him, which we do. And now here, Dan is gonna try and bait him over close to the wall, so we can quickly hug up against the wall right after we kill him.
Super neat fight, pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. And you'll see it will take us a place that you may not expect.
Yeah, so as soon as you enter Gyobu Arena, like the Gyobu Arena itself counts as a boss arena, and every boss arena is just one giant unstable ground land till the boss is killed. And starting from there, we just continue aggroing different enemies while Gyobu is alive. So at the moment when he dies, enemies are still aggroed at me. And therefore, I'm prolonging the unstable ground state that I'm having. And through doing that, up till the bullfight, and after bullfight hugging the wall. So hugging the wall in this game worked the same as ladders in like Souls games. For example, or Bloodborne. Like in Bloodborne, there is skips that use unstable ground from the ladder to come back to certain places. Basically, hugging walls work the same as climbing the ladder in Souls games. So game just stops updating your last stored position. We're gonna use it in a few more places later on, but for now we finally get our first damage upgrade.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually have talked with an NPC and purchased prosthetic tool called Firecracker. Firecracker we're gonna use a lot later on. It's the most powerful prosthetic tool in a game. It's like basically staggers enemies and deals posture damage to beast bosses as well. So that can be really neat.
Yeah, and here we have another utilization of the dead angle, and here, you know, we're able to constantly over and over stagger him with just attacking, and we can trap him in the corner. He can't get out. That's a good fight.
Yeah, it was very clean. Lone Shadow can sometimes like backstab from your combo, which can sometimes result in a bad outcome, but I would say most of the time still ends up being pretty okay. I'm gonna pick up the 1,000 cent purse here as well for the future, because we're gonna purchase a lot of extra stuff compared to the optimized run, just in case for the backup purposes. And yeah, so here after you kill Gyobu, after you kill Bull, game gets kind of non-linear to some extent, and we choose to go to Corrupted Monk first, and the reason for that is Air Swim. In order to access Air Swim glitch, we need to get the dive ability, and dive ability is unlocked by killing Corrupted Monk. And on top of that, Corrupted Monk is a boss that is killed with a cheese that involves no fighting, so we don't get any drawback from fighting this boss early. Also, this is not very good because...
Yeah, again, we're gonna try and dead angle, and you actually even saw Dan do a 180 dead angle there, where you completely turn around.
Okay, this is not gonna be fun at all.
He's also trying to not get sniped here, which is somehow working.
Oh my god! That iframes from
Let's
the
go,
death blow.
dude.
Yeah, that 180 that I, for some unknown reason, decided to pull off at Snake Eyes failed the corner cheese, actually, because it pushed her, like, in a different direction a little bit. I feel like that was... Dude, that... So far, I'm failing all the fights that involve dead angling, but it's fine. You know, I'm not dying fully, so it's all
Yeah, no,
good.
we're still smoothing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, next area is pretty dead in terms of things happening. We're gonna come back here much later to clean up the bosses here. Bosses in this woods do not disappear ever. So we're gonna utilize that in our advantage to fight them as late as possible, and we're literally gonna fight the bosses from this area, except Miss Noble, obviously, at the very end. And I think that's a good moment for potential donations.
Awesome. All right, so this upcoming donation is a bit of a meme. I don't know if you had a chance to check out the previous run where there was the Frank or Zamboni memes. But Dr. Dino donates $10 saying, "Did you know that Frank Zamboni also invented cleaning machines for AstroTurf, the fake grass stuff, including a paint stripper to clean off the lines from a field so that they can be replaced? They were invented after he made his famous ice resurfaces, but they are vital to the football fields that we know and love today." Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Dino, for that Franco Zamboni lore. I did not know that. There's a lot of things we did not know that we're learning today. So thank you so much for the $10 donation. We are fundraising for Save the Children. They are an international charity working in over 100 countries around the world, and they focus on making sure that children have access to healthcare, education, and that they are protected from harm and violence in conflict and every day. So definitely get your donations in. We are at $1,422 raised, and at $2,000 we're giving away yet another some special something. I'm not gonna say what, but it is gonna be nice. So and for the giveaways, I know the team has been working on being able to fix the one for the 1K. When it comes to the incentive, right now the purification ending is the one in the lead, but you can change that. Dan, which one would you prefer, like, personally?
I guess purification ending makes sense for the event, because it's more dramatic, I would say. I mean, it's less dramatic, but it's like it's an ending that requires more actions to be done, you know. So
okay.
Say purification ending make total sense to be acquired for the marathon. But it's not gonna be convenient for me because I will need to, like, adjust routing a little bit. But it's not a big deal.
That's why they're trying to, like, get the most out of you. They're trying to milk you a little bit by picking that one.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, so we just killed Corrupted Monk using the ash cheese. So we just throw ash. So the Corrupted Monk cheese is super simple in principle. Basically, you can enter the boss arena the way that boss doesn't notice you, and because this boss is also used in other like there's gonna be another boss like that, and I think they just left over the possibility of stealthy aerial death blow for this boss still. You can just enter the arena without boss noticing you, push boss all the way back down, and sorry, not down, but all the way back, and just use the stone to get the aerial death blow. That's literally it. And we're doing the first air swim of the run. Dang, I got sniped by the shuriken, which is not super nice, but good enough. So, yeah, mind explaining air swim a bit?
Yeah, so when you swim in game, it puts you into a certain like swimming state, and if you happen to swim while out of bounds and just leave the water, you know, the game just lets you keep swimming in air. That's about it. And here you saw we entered the cutscene for this fight, which takes us out of the air swim mode, which is kind of a little problematic sometimes with the routing. So we'll try to often air swim into cutscenes. Otherwise, we need to enter water again to exit the air swim, because we can't really fight while in air swim.
Yeah, meanwhile, we just decimated 2 phases of Genichiro using the corner.
Again
Very
with the dead
lovely.
angles.
Yeah. There is a cool trick for like releasing lightning early. With the... Oh!
Let's go! Double
Marathon
lightning.
luck, dude.
The most ideal RNG that you would like to see.
Yeah, that was very smooth. So yeah, Genichiro, as you can see, pretty comfortable fight because the first 2 phases being abused in the corner. The only scary thing he can do is jumping up with an arrows attack, with the bow attack, but I cancelled it, so he couldn't even deal any damage to me because of that. And now it's time for a little bit of talking with Kuro.
Yeah, this is when the time save from not having subtitles really starts to add up.
Yep.
So some of these we do have to do choices, and when there's items we need to get the items, but otherwise we can just like skip through it by pressing the start button or the menu button, whichever control method you use, and it will just skip over it. And again, this does not work unless you disable subtitles.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that they made subtitles behave differently based on subtitles being on and off. That's probably just some leftover thing.
Just a quick intervention, sorry. Thank you so much, Vulcan Ryan, for gifting merch to people in the chat. And this is for anyone to join and have a chance to win by pressing ! enter. So
let's go.
Thank you so much.
Dude, merch is Pog. Especially
Yeah,
for
you
the
like
good cause. Yeah, I actually do like the merch.
Do you have anything that you think you're gonna snag or no?
No.
No. Maybe you get lucky if you enter.
Not this year.
Not this year. But maybe you get lucky, you can snag one that has been given away, like by a generous donator, such as Vulcan Ryan in the chat right now.
Yeah, might as well. Oh, I didn't notice I started the dialogue. So yeah, there we're gonna finally fit our shuriken and firecracker that we've picked up previously from the sculptor. These are the only 2 prosthetics we're gonna use in this run for the entire run, even though we're still gonna equip whistle because reasons. Now when we have air swim and we killed Geni, like the reason why we killed Geni is to talk with Ishin in Ashina Castle, and talking with Ishin in Ashina Castle spawns the bell that is necessary to use in order to get to monkeys. Oh my god, dude, that was insane backup.
Yeah, so this
dude,
branch
I should spawn on top actually.
Yeah, you should, because this branch counts as unstable ground.
Yeah,
and so we should get put back up where we need to be.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I've never backed up from falling off from the successful jump already. So yeah, the air swim is very finicky glitch because there are like many issues that like revolve around it, such as you can see, I was like swimming up in order to hit the area collision to make it load properly. And here I swim up in abandoned dungeon to load the rest of the area, and here I'm gonna quit out in a specific place, not too far, not too close, not too far, in order to load the next area without dying. And all of that is like just very finicky, like the way how game operates, loading new areas, and yeah, how we have to work around it in order to use air swim successfully. And there we're gonna have, like, I'm gonna pick up a safe like extra gachin sugar that you usually don't pick up. Actually, we can talk a little bit maybe about the resources, sugars. Probably after killing Armored Warrior. So Armored Warrior is a boss that can't be killed with the damage. You have to make him fall off. And you can actually make him fall off from the air swim, which is super convenient. Like, one of the issues that air swim has is that from air swim you cannot perform a death blow. And there is, like, this quick kill was found by Sutemo many years ago, but it's very funny looking, I think. It's actually not that easy to make Armored Warrior to fall off, just run off, because his pathfinding is all over the place when you're air swimming outside of the arena, but that was actually pretty good RNG. Yeah, about consumables.
Yeah, so we are gonna be using 3 different sugars in the run: Akos, Gachins, and Yashirikus. Gachin is the one that we have equipped down in the action slot right now. It makes you stealthy, so the enemies don't see you as well. And then you have the Akko, which is a little bit of a damage buff, and then Yash, which is a huge damage buff. We will later get something called a Spirit Fall, which will give you infinite, but it will just cost emblems instead of items. So you can basically use it as long as you have emblems.
Yep. And yeah, I purchased like a lot more emblems than I normally would for the marathon sake, so hopefully we don't run out of emblems. But yeah, you could see that I again utilized the quit out unstable ground war, because when you finish fighting the centipede, there is a lot of enemies around you, and they just prolong the aggro. And yeah, by quitting out, you can end up in a convenient spot. Here, I'm gonna use Gachin Insight strat, which is RTA not even faster, because black screen is longer. But yeah, it's faster IGT, especially after the black screen removal became a thing.
Yeah, because you enter the fight without Gachin, this guy sees you, this orange or red guy, and he will just stand in place and let you kill him more easily.
Yeah, Orange Monkey just mod checking after you use Gachin, so you take advantage of that. And the reason why we kill monkeys now is, first of all, it's just like a very easy boss to fight. Like, you don't need any specific, like, you know, you don't need a lot of damage to fight this boss. But most importantly, why we kill this boss is to get access to Mortal Blades. Mortal Blades is the ultimate annihilator of this game.
Oh yeah.
Especially after it receiving a huge buff from release, like after release patch. And we're gonna see that soon. Not quite yet. First thing we're gonna do is level up. Actually, to actually make it super powerful, we need to level up skill called midair combat arts. That allows you to perform Mortal Draw midair. And for whatever reason, whenever you perform Mortal Draw midair, it actually deals empowered Mortal Draw damage, which is 50% more damage compared to regular Mortal Draw. Oh, I did one extra hit at the end here, so it's gonna be a little bit of an annoying finisher. Like, because I'm gonna stagger one hit earlier.
Here you'll see that we probably do a lot more damage than you might expect, and that's because we're using a Yashiriku. And also, you need to use a confetti for this enemy, or else he will take basically no damage because he's an apparition or a ghost or whatever you want to.
Yeah, so I died here
mouse.
exactly because of the because I couldn't death blow without doing an extra hit, unfortunately. But yeah, haven't like if I would die there twice, that would be an issue because the resources I use at this point in the game are very scarce, so the fight would become really annoying to do. And the reason why we fight this guy so early is Tanto. It's another item that we're gonna use a lot in this run. It gives you 5 extra emblems for half of your health sacrifice, which is extremely powerful with Mortal Draw, because there is no way to get emblems without sitting on the idol outside of killing enemies or mini bosses. And Tanto effectively can give you up to 15 extra emblems throughout the segments, which is a lot of emblems.
Yeah, it lets you exceed the cap that you normally have by 5, kind of like with the Quicksilver bullets in Bloodborne.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good fight.
And here we will do the wall hog again.
Yeah, important to quit out after receiving the emblems from the enemy, because there is an actual projectile. Like, you don't receive emblems automatically. You have to wait for emblems from the mini boss to get to you. Actually, this segment, like with the death blow from the roof, looks pretty cool in my opinion. And killing the gunners with the mortal draw at the same time hitting the general. But what is not really very cool is the next segment coming up, because no one liked Gunfort. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the infamous Gunfort.
Yep. I'm
This
actually
is
gonna
where-
I'm actually gonna take the idol before Gunfort and before Centipedes. So we're just in case.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's like this segment is pretty scary because like Centipede fight is not very simple and quite some things can go wrong. Gunfort itself is purely random, like sometimes you just take damage that you can do anything about. And Guardian Ape fight is pretty complex, so a lot of things can go wrong in this segment.
Yeah, because our health throughout this entire segment kind of matters, because we want to be able to use the Tanto, but if we drop below half HP, we need to heal, but we only have 1 heal available, really.
Yeah.
So we need to keep our health as high as possible and avoid any little damages, because it will slow down the fight later in the segment, on Ape especially.
Here's a interesting like strat where you use a gunner who notices you to draw attention of Snake Eyes a little bit away from you. I'm not doing the hardcore strat with like jump iframes, so whenever I get the grab I'm not able to do the fastest version of the fight that I'm doing, but it's still fine. So here, I mean, I actually will go for...
Oh?
This is fine.
Yeah, we got the idol, it's fine.
I didn't sprint. Shit. Oh my god, dude. This is fine. Actually, before... Don't snipe me.
That's
I should have healed. I should have healed at the bottom before jumping up, but
yeah.
But yeah, that was typical Gunfort experience for you. We're gonna lose some money, but again, like we're gonna use a lot of extra money if it's necessary. If it's gonna be dude, no gacha in Gunfort though. Let's go. So this is. Yep. This is much less fun. You can immediately notice the difference between Gachin and no Gachin. So I'm gonna take the safe pass here.
Yeah, they will start shooting at you a lot earlier, and that also means that their patterns become more random because they have more chances at which they can delay. And when they're really out of sync, you know, it can be completely impossible sometimes to pass. Because if all the bullets fly at once, you'll get hit by one, and the other ones might miss you, and then you can jump. But if they're coming at intervals, they'll just, you know, keep knocking you down.
Okay, I was able to rest without any extra shenanigans, so that was good. Now Centipede. So Centipede fight is pretty precise. Like the first jump MD that I do there is not as simple as it might look like. It's like very important to jump from a very specific spot. But that was pretty like that was perfect fight actually. So
yeah, that was pretty good. This fight has evolved so much. Like, especially with the optimization where you jump, deflect, and then before you land, you actually get the MD off, which makes it a full damage jumping MD for that extra 50%.
Yep. Jump MDs are really, really nice in this game. So the next boss is Guardian Ape, and Guardian Ape is one of the hardest boss fights in the game for sure. Especially when there is a lot of RNG involved, and you need to know how to tackle every single outcome perfectly if you want to be optimal with the fights. Here on the way, I need to pick up 2 extra aqua sugars because the route I do with early double ape and owl MD is spicy. Let's call it that way. So we need a little bit of extra resources. In many other routes, you don't pick up these 2 aqua sugars. So hopefully Guardian Ape fights end up being smooth.
Yeah, we're gonna try and hit him in the head because it has a massive damage modifier. Actually, we should double the posture damage. And yeah, we just completely annihilate him because
that was perfect.
He hit the headshots.
Yeah, again, this might look very simple, but believe me, it takes a lot of time to be able to just do this consistently, not just, once or twice, but reliably run from one run to another. It's really
this takes hours of tinkering to get the exact lineup when you're learning it. And we're gonna try for some headshots again here. So on some of these attacks, we can do a little punish where we jump back to try and hit his head. Because his head actually still is the same place that was before. Like on his head. And it's still able to give us a bonus damage.
Super meme fight, but... Oh, I didn't get... What?
Oh yeah, you were too close.
Yeah, I was too close, yeah. Okay, good thing he did scream at least at the end, so... Okay, that was really unlucky. I messed up, but that was really bad RNG. That was screamless RNG, which is not good, actually. Screamless RNG could be nice if he wouldn't go for combo finisher after the first combo cancels.
Yeah, that was actually quite a rare pattern.
Yeah, it is actually. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This fight involves so many little differences to what Guardian Ape can do, and you need to tackle all of them successfully, which I obviously did not do there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and there are some attacks that you need to do on reaction. So you have to do only one attack if he does a certain attack, and then you have to do the second attack buffered if he doesn't do the attack where it's unsafe to attack. So you really gotta be paying attention.
Yep. And now it's time for memes. So after killing Guardian Ape, he spawns here. That was good.
Nice. Hitting the headshots again.
And I fucked up. But that's fine. That's actually not really fine. Actually, never mind. Okay, that was my bad. I messed up. I messed up the second phase. I death blowed from too far right. But that worked. The Tanto backup was on point here. But yeah, unfortunately that was a slow fight. If I would death blow successfully at the start of phase 2, he would act differently, and through that I would be able to headshot successfully, and I would kill Headless Ape before the scream, before the summon of the second monkey. But yeah, that was still good enough. Here is an interesting like jump over the head of the peasant. So he you have to jump from behind, so you aggro him with your footsteps. So he does turn around.
Yeah, you want him to actually not aggro you, but notice your sound, so he turns around and then doesn't see you, because we set up an aggro chain here back to around where the bridge ended, because we want to go there to go to Owl afterwards.
Yep. And if he would notice me there, it would be bad for the aggro chain. We have 7 spears. This fight is a little bit of a meme sometimes, but it's fine. So here I'm just gonna hug the wall. And again, that extends my unstable ground. And there now, after quit out, I will be right where I have to be for air swim setup, like for the air swim parkour to Owl.
Wow, just to let you know quickly that the Immortal Severance is in the lead right now.
Oh!
Insane. Insane
I guess
competition.
people really want to see the actual route, because we would have to amend the route quite a bit to get the other ending, but don't let that stop you. Let's challenge Dan a little.
No, I mean, to be fair, routing difference is basically insignificant, but still, yeah. Okay, so the Owl with MD, that's quite rather recent thing. Because we used to fight him in the corner, in the same corner where we fight, well, not in the same corner where we fight Geni, but in a nearby corner. That was okay, phase 1.
Yeah, and it just turns out that Jump MD is just higher DPS than trapping him in the corner and hitting him repeatedly. Okay,
that was pretty smooth, all things considered. Phase 1 was not very fast, so I ran out of Yash at the end. Couldn't get the kill with second Jump MD, second set of Jump MDs. But that was very smooth, actually. Let's go. Yeah, on average, this fight loses more time, but at the same time, it's not like the corner doesn't have RNG involved. Corner is heavily RNG based as well, because based on what Owl is doing, you have to do different actions to put him in the corner. And I keep saying that, you know, the corner cheese is actually more difficult than MD Owl, or at least like much more annoying to pull off. That's for sure. So here I'm gonna use something that is very RTA unhealthy and doesn't really make sense for the marathon, but just for muscle memory purposes I will do that. You can rest at the idle to update NPC's state, but if you quit out, it works the same way. So instead of resting at the idle to make Emma spawn here and advance the dialogues with Kuro, what I do, I just quit out where Emma's supposed to be, and that updates the NPCs instead. And yeah, now after I'm gonna finish talking with Kuro here, I'm actually gonna start setting up the purification ending, because purification ending is necessary, like the quest line for purification ending is necessary for getting into Hirata 2. Second part of the Hirata, where there are 2 mini bosses and 1 boss. so we are not allowed to skip them, really. Technically, we skip Ishin Emma fight from the Shura ending, but yeah, because it's not fun to do, you know, in G plus any % run, we're not doing that. And now it's time for the boss that caused me a lot of issues for years, but now it's like such a simple thing that
so
it's
we
a
were
great
kind of
pleasure. Yeah,
we're kind of able to prevent her from spawning in early by staying high above the ground with the grapples, and we can actually get a stealth death blow here on the first phase.
Yeah, that's a skip that was patched. Actually, in the release version, this death blow is much easier. But here I use mouse wheel to buffer my input.
Yeah, the history of setups for the phase 1 strat is like, it's kind of wild. Like all the different setups that people have been working on to try and get it consistent. It is one of the most scary things when you're going for attempts on this. Really good to see a first try here.
I mean, it's always a first try with my setup, so
yeah. Like I was gonna say with the good setup.
Like this summer, I was able to figure out the buffer input setup that I was not able to figure out before, and the buffer input setup makes it so easy that it's insane. So for the skip to work, you need to hit a few frames window when you need to input your attack. What? Why did it? Holy shit!
All right.
That worked. Oh my god,
that
was
get electrocuted.
Like that was super weird because I got like a sprint cancel before I supposed to jump. Like I got a pop-up. That's how it felt. But maybe it was just my sprint button or my finger behaving. And the setup to skip the lightning is a little like it's tricky. It's timing based in a way. And because I entered the water differently from normal because of that little mess up, I had to like adjust it, sort of thing. I had to wait for another lightning before moving forward. So here we just skipped pretty much the entire area by skipping the lightning bolts from Okami leader. Unfortunately, it doesn't help Okami leader to stay alive in this run that we skip it. So yeah, that's a like a gimmick boss, I would say, like just kind of like a Miss Noble environmental boss in a way. Where
that was sick.
Yeah, the backup was pretty nice actually. I'm surprised that I didn't die. But yeah, the lightning skip itself is very simple. Like it's really easy to get.
Yeah, you only have to time the first dive, and then after you just spam swim, and it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's like very straightforward.
Can I read a quick donation?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So we have the fifth Matt donating $175.
Ooh.
Saying donating to even out the bid war. Good luck, Dan Franker Z.
Yeah, shout out to Fifth Mats, the person who helped to figure out how to kill Shichimin in depth. Like he's a modder who made a lot of mods from software games and specifically randos. And he helped me back in the day to figure out how to kill Shichimin in depth, because in order to make him spawn, you need to acquire Whistle prosthetic after killing Guardian Ape. So getting, like, they made a very weird, like, flags for boss to spawn, and I would never in my life figure out what it's supposed to be if not for the Fifth Mat help.
Absolutely amazing, Fifth Matt, and coming in with such a strong donation too. And then we also have Matthias donating $10 saying 6 swimming skills.
Nice, thank you.
And I think in celebration of that incredible backup you did, we should do the giveaway that we were gonna do for the $1,000.
Let's
So
go.
if you want to win the Dark Souls 3 Art of the Trilogy art book, you can enter now, and the keyword is let's see here. Ash, are we good to go? Franker Zamboni.
Ooh.
Franker Z Zamboni.
All right,
wait,
guys,
wait a
get to
second. Wait a
spamming.
second. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second.
Oh, wait.
Wait a second. I was too early. Okay, enter Franker Zamboni. Let's go.
Let's go. Franker Zamboni.
Nice.
So yeah, in Fountain
Who
Head
has
Palace,
a gong?
It's me. I mean, since we were just in a Senpu temple, you know, a little bit of gonking.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just hit my mic stand with the T-mug. So
That sounded like an actual gong.
yeah. What I was wanted to say is in Fountainhead Palace, we pretty much killed almost all the bosses except the Shichimen. It's just routing wise. All the bosses in that area are very like killable. Oh yeah, I need to pick up the Gachin. And Gachin is one floor above. How you just...
You can wall jump. But yeah, I guess that works too.
Oh yeah, I mean backflip? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, it's just normally you would not, like I don't pick up this Gachin, so I kind of forgot about it. So yeah, in Fountainhead Palace, we killed pretty much all the bosses, except the Shichimen that we'll kill later. The reason for that is that it's just the bosses are very easy to kill. So it's not worth postponing them later. But now, actually, we are going to kill some bosses that would make sense to kill later, if not for the Lone Shadow guy. One of the bosses that we're going to kill, like both Headless, Headless never disappear from the world, no matter like how far in the game you progress, but the Lone Shadow guy here, don't push me. Holy. That was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but yeah. This Lone Shadow guy, he disappears after killing Dragon, but he appears only after you kill True Monk or Owl. I think Owl, maybe. I don't remember exactly when he spawns, but he is one of the bosses that stay in game for the least amount of time, I would say.
Yeah, and as we went over earlier, that's one of the routing constraints that we work around.
Yep.
Is like when do the bosses despawn and such.
And when it's worth killing them,
Yeah.
if they despawn at a certain point in time, yeah. That was a pretty good fight. I had issues with Lone Shadow 2 recently, so that was good. Actually, some parkour that I did, jumping on a roof before the fight, was also doing me the job of luring dogs away, because they hear me, like, they hear my footsteps on the roof, and they, like, go patrol a little bit, which gives me a lot of extra time to fight the Lone Shadow. And we fight first ground Headless.
Yeah, we might go over a little bit how this boss works. So you can't dodge while you're in this arena due to this like mist that's on the ground. So we have to either strafe around him to prevent him from attacking completely, or we have to be ready to deflect his attacks, which can either be super slow or super fast. So
Yep.
ideally you want to strafe, but it's quite difficult.
Yeah, Headless moveset is one of the most complicated movesets in the game for sure, especially considering how delayed like moves are, and considering how much terrain and like relative positioning to the Headless matter affect the timing. So it's definitely like one of the hardest fights. But here I was able to pull off a very clean fight where I just strafed the entire first phase, and for the second phase I bait out the grab attack. And the thing about grab attack of Headless is that if you turn around, like to bait headless grab, you need him to, like, you have to face away from him. But after he starts the grab animation, if you turn around toward him fast enough, he will actually not do the grab itself, which is super helpful because the animation is like really juicy to punish. Oh no.
Yeah, it can only hit you from behind.
Yeah, it can only ever grab you from behind. That's pretty unfortunate, and we're gonna miss out on the Hirata air swim here because I got the vertical jump. That was like getting vertical jump here isn't super common, I would say, but yeah, it happens. It's not a super major time save, this air swim, but unlike in All Memories, for example. But it's a cool air swim. All Memories air swim is very cool, though. Like that one is pretty cool. You skip the entire area basically in air swim. But yeah, this area is early game actually, and
we have acquired a little bit of damage at this point.
Yeah, so you can see I haven't even buffed, and I still one-shot the boss here. But don't make it convince you that this guy is an easy boss to fight, because we play with the live split plugin that turns off the pop-ups, but the way it works, it kind of whenever pop-up is closed or supposed to be closed, it kind of interrupting your inputs a little bit. And this, like fighting this guy, you have a pop-up that teaches you how to do mikiris, and it's a very annoying pop-up to work around, because very often you just jump and pop-up happening midair when like exactly when you're supposed to start doing your mortal draw, and what ends up happening is like you just jump and nothing happens because of that pop-up. So it's really easy to lose a lot of time, and also there are enemies all over the place around him, and he really likes to backstab like 15,000 times. So it's actually a very annoying boss to lose time to. But yeah, now it's another very annoying boss to fight too.
Yeah, we used the Gachin to sneak behind, and then we set up for the backstab, but before taking it we buff and then take the death blow, and then we just hit him with some MDs.
Yeah, so because of my route, I have to do one dash R1 to kill him with 3 MDs. Luckily, it doesn't cancel the firecracker stagger when you dash R1, so that fight is pretty safe, even with that R1, most of the times, which was really nice. And yeah, Lady Butterfly is also gonna be kinda decimated, I would say.
Yeah.
Though, because we don't have Dragon Memory, it's like phase 2 will be a little bit more sketch compared to old unrestricted routes.
Yeah, if you have some PTSD from first playthrough from this boss, you should maybe look away, because this is gonna look quite trivial. But I assure you, the second phase is pretty hard, because there is a little thing here where you gotta hit her mid-air before she lands. Because if you don't, then it will cancel her landing animation, and you won't be able to get all 3 MDs in time. And if you don't get the 3 MDs off to kill her, there's a high chance that she'll teleport up in the air, and that's gonna prolong the fight by a lot compared to how fast you would otherwise enter.
But yeah, now we're just gonna purchase a little bit of confettis, so we have enough for the rest of the game. And yeah, so I'm gonna actually sell my oops, 6. I think that's gonna be enough. And yeah, we're gonna level up attack power and level up the rest of the skills that we're gonna use, which is Mikiri and mid-air prosthetic tools with extra emblems that it gives us. And yeah, from now we go to Dragon, and I guess that's a good moment to maybe read some donations.
Hello, hello, hello. I think the run has been so intense that people are glued to their screen right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say that you can donate towards some of our upcoming incentives. We have that you can donate towards making the Demon Souls race a little bit harder by making the teams having to fight Man-Eater, I believe, which is a boss that normally doesn't get fought. And we did reach the Talk to Quaylag's Sister incentive already, so you'll be getting some extra lore there in the upcoming Dark Souls run. And then we would love to hit the bid for forbidding to use the summons for Lies of P. So if you have an extra $1 or $2 to donate and put towards the incentive, it is currently at $5 and it needs to hit $250. But we still have some time, so definitely check out the incentives if you plan on donating. And just a quick shout out to our supporters of the event. So we have Sega, we have Bandai Namco Nordics, we've got El Gato, who's giving away a Stream Deck Plus in the Souls charity marathon colors. I don't know if anyone of you have seen them yet, but they are part of the Gleam giveaway and might actually be a giveaway on the stream too. Who knows? We will see with the upcoming stuff. And then also big shout out to Go Rapid Studios doing a VR game, The Burst, coming out Q2 2024. They have been supporting us with keys to give away, all very, very exciting and coming up in the marathon in the future. So keep yourself peeled. There's tons of stuff coming up.
Okay, thank you. There was a little bit of scuffed dragon fight where I got the partial on, like one extra partial that I shouldn't have got, but because this route is so free, I just shurikens him still. Dragon is one of the most complicated fights as well. Like, this guy is also, like, just like Guardian Ape, there are a lot of RNG scenarios that you need to be aware of, and fight is just mechanically demanding in terms of execution. So that was... But in this route, I have to say, like, this route has, like, most comfy dragon you can ever imagine, honestly. Like, it is so free. And yeah, just like that, dragon down. And dragon is the last boss that advances the world state, so only the bosses that will stay for the rest of the game are left. So now our goal is just to optimally clean up the rest of the game.
So until when do people have until they can, like, sort of mess with the bed war?
It's like a few minutes left, actually. Like, after I'm gonna be done with Demon of Hatred, it's gonna be the time for me to know.
Gotcha. So you heard him, chat. This is your last chance to change the bid war. Right now we have Immortal Severance ending at the top, but if you want the Purification ending, it is only a couple of dollars away. So if you want to change that, now's your last chance.
Yep. Yeah, this grapple is kind of a meme. But yeah, so we're going to do a very modern version of Demon of Hatred skip. Shout out to Umnik, who figured it out. So before, in the past, we used to make DOH fall off like the Gyobu, but now there is like a air swim setup that makes him die, and it is so much better because it's 100% consistent. Like this setup right now, like DOH has 0 RNG to it as a fight now. Unlike with the previous, like older version of the skip, where there was a lot of RNG involved based on like how enemies die and like what attacks he's doing, etc, etc. So here I quit out to make 3 red enemies, like red guard enemies, kind of disappear from the fight, because once you trigger the fight and quit out, they disappear. Easy as that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aggro DOH, swim a lot different part of the area, deal a lot collisions, and he will just run into the death box, into the kill box, hopefully. I mean, he will. No need to add hopefully, because this is now like super consistent.
Do we get the look back?
I actually was standing because I wanted to get the look back. I stopped swimming forward a little bit too early, so I could bait like
100% worth
attack. But yeah, that's how it looks basically. And now we're gonna swim to Ishin as well. There is a little bit of a memes with bypassing kill boxes in the air swim. The same kill box that Demon of Hatred died to. And yeah, this fight is a little bit like, hopefully it goes smooth. So basically bid war is over once I'm done fighting this boss, so I need to know the results after the fight of after the end of this fight.
Gotcha.
So the first phase is just Genichiro. Second phase is Ishin.
Yeah, and we have a lot of damage here. We're gonna try and get as many MDs off of as we can, but we still need at least 9 for the final phase to strip the fight.
Ah, I didn't dash. Ooh, I didn't expect to have whatever. This is fine still. I mean, this is actually not super fine, I would say, but this is doable.
Yeah, our buff also ran out.
Rip.
We had a donation of $25 saying "Go Dan Go" from Anonymous, but it is not enough. It is not enough.
Not enough?
No, the bid war is currently at 227 versus 220, and the winner is Immortal Severance.
Okay, then we're just gonna proceed with the run as you would in the real run, which is looking at the ending here. That was a very like scuffed fight. It was my mistake. I thought that deflecting the Mikiri, like, because if you Mikiri the second phase, you can punish third phase with jump MD, and I thought that it's a good idea to try it out like that, but yeah, it was not a good idea. I should have just Mikiri'd him.
Subtitles?
Yeah, subtitles. Sound and display subtitles on. It's so you actually able to read things during the cutscene. So let's enjoy.
おそばにおります。竜の涙。
これはやはりあなたが持っていてください。また新しい忍びが力を求める時が来るでしょう。
So yeah, here goes the ending, but we'll not let another shinobi come yet, because we still need this arm to finish killing all the bosses, and we still have a plenty to murder. So yeah, we use all the attack power we've got. Now it's time to kill Orin. Orin is one of the more annoying boss fights. Because she is like, her invincibility state is just super annoying. There are good strats, so hopefully I don't fail it. Like, this fight easily can cost you a run or a lot of time loss.
Nice.
In a run.
You got the stagger by bumping into her.
Okay, I got the super straightforward phase 2 as well. Yeah, the phase 1 is pretty consistent. Nice. It's the phase 2 that is like more RNG involved. So that was nice that everything worked out pretty smoothly. But yeah, it's just faster to kill her now because we have the almost maximum like power, maximum attack power. The only memory left is Owl, like Father Owl fights. And yeah, since we sit on the idol after the ending, it's just faster to warp somewhere and then come back with the homeward idol to the temple. What am I doing? Actually, I've done something that I've never do. Okay, that was like that entire fight went exactly how it should never go, because I just did something that I've never do, which is deflecting the first hits. Like first of all, I failed the opener because I jumped not enough to the side, but yeah, that was super weird. I'm gonna go for YOLO Juzo 2 fight. It doesn't save that much time in Unrestricted when you do an actual run, but in real time it's more time save and it's just cool looking.
Yeah, usually you do a series of quit outs to kill, or I guess one, but to,
okay, that's very bad looking.
Kill the ninja.
Okay, I played it safe.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
hey, we got him.
Yeah, we've got him, but that was like, that's exactly why this strat is kind of bad, because you rely on AI behavior of Lone Shadow, and if he behaves weirdly, you kind of have a lot of issues. and it's very risky to go for in this run because the alternative strat is like 100% consistent. Like there is nothing that can go wrong with it. Like it's a 100% scripted fight, but it loses 5-7 seconds compared to the optimized fast fight.
And here we're just abusing some more jump MDs. And at this point we're so strong that
Yep. That was very smooth owl fight.
we can just kill him with the MDs. Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, because we kill Ishin before Owl, it actually makes this fight like much more reliable because he just dies in 4 swings into full jump MDs, which is really nice. I'm quitting out here. It doesn't save time in real time, but basically you have a dialogue line after killing Owl. And if you quit out, you skip the dialogue line, and while dialogue is active, you are unable to interact with the idol. So yeah. But yeah, now it's time for the late game part. That's something that a new route introduced after DOH air swim was found as well. This part, we're gonna utilize unstable ground again. Twice for quit outs and stuff, and hopefully I get the door skip. Double door.
Yeah, we're actually done with the memory bosses. Now we just need to do cleanup around the map of this mini bosses.
Okay, I'm not gonna retry the double door, but yeah, that was a very unfortunate failure. So if you fail this jump, you lose like 20 seconds compared to getting it, which is incredibly painful in a real run. And this skip is it's not super difficult, but it's just annoying, I would say.
Kudos to you for even trying it. It's yeah.
Yeah, I would have even tried it like forever, since it doesn't require to use any consumables or anything, but oh, I'm dead. Dude, I keep failing my own strat a lot. And for like my strat requires me to hit the samurai dude with the second MD swing, and I just keep missing it. And if you don't hit it, you are dead if you get unlucky. So that was unfortunate. But dying doesn't remove the unstable ground state, so it doesn't really matter that much as long as we're able to pull off the rest of the segment.
An old friend returns.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have some revenge here for getting grabbed earlier.
Yep. This fight can be actually pretty annoying because of these enemies around the ogre dying and not allowing you to death blow the ogre, which is a giant meme, but that was pretty smooth and clean. And again, like I'm hugging wall before aggro state disappears from ogre. I actually have to perform face like death blow from in front in order to be able to wall hug. Otherwise, I will just not have enough time to hug the wall.
Yeah, normally you would want the backstab death blow because it's faster, but
Yeah.
here is another use case of dead angles. So this enemy takes less damage when it blocks the MD. So we actually have to dead angle the MDs to be able to kill him in 2 hits. And you saw it didn't quite work well on the last one. So
yeah, in the second phase I messed up and I didn't dead angle properly. Dude, not having a resurrection for the rest of the segment gonna be pretty painful, but we'll see how it goes. Like that fight with Lone Shadow is always annoying because he has a friend, and that friend can be like super annoying as well. Even though this time it was totally my bad. Oh, actually we're gonna have 1 resurrection.
oh, that's good.
Okay, now it's time for insane Danflesh strats for Shigekichi, where you just look all the way down so you don't trigger gunners ahead of time. And that way you EI manip the gunner to not shoot at you. Hopefully, it sometimes doesn't work, but most of the times it works. Let's see. I think that might be the time of it not working potentially. We'll see. Yeah, all works. And this guy, why did I? Okay, I got lucky. I thought I will not get this tiger for whatever reason. I thought I will not get the will not get this tiger was one of my MDs. So here, this boss, the Shigekichi, this guy has an armor on his chest and belly, and therefore attacking him from the front actually deals very little damage and doesn't stagger him at all. While if you attack from the back, you deal the full damage and he gets staggered. So it's very, very important to dead angle him, like to punish attacks properly so you get the full damage from attacking from the back. And now, since we killed Ishin already, we have a very cool ability called Danflesh. And the thing is that Danflesh deals the full damage with confetti to Headless and Shichimen.
Yeah, the other combat arts just don't really work. Like, Mortal Draw is completely useless because it cannot get modified by the confetti. And so anything that you do against the Headless or the Shichimen without confetti is so heavily nerfed that you can sometimes not even tell that you're doing damage to them.
Yep. Exactly. And now we have last area left, pretty much. Area that has a lot of enemies, a lot of mini bosses. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4 bosses left. But yeah, the Danflesh is... I heard that Danflesh on release patch was insane, but I've never tried it actually. That is not good. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is nerfed now compared to release patch, but...
I messed up the strat because I didn't get the delayed jump, and then I wanted to do a jump Danflesh back up, but I failed it because I got mid-air kick. But that's fine.
So there, Danflesh aided the grab, and it just allowed him to like completely just punish him. And he did that by just turning around and then facing back after.
Yep. So we kill all the monkeys around Tokujiro. Then it's important to jump here before using firecracker, so if you get like the fastest attack, it doesn't actually, like, you don't trade with him. And we have 2 more bosses left, which are Shichimen in Depth and Shichimen in Fountainhead Palace. But yeah, these are like mid to early game bosses, like mid-early game, I would call that. I would call them that. So we just annihilate them, to be honest. They stand no chance, and we have a lot of resources at this point. And again, just like on Headless, we can use Danflesh on Shichimen. Here I use Shuriken, so he actually aggroes at me faster. And because he aggroes at me faster, he doesn't regen his... like, he stops casting his whatever attack he's doing when he's idling. And that way there is a... it just works better. I'm not sure can you get hit mid-air by the ball that they spawn from that attack, but I'm not sure. But yeah, last boss. Timer stops after I quit out after killing the last boss. So here is a very weird interaction with Fountainhead Shichimen. Normally you can't death blow this guy from with aerial death blow like this, but if you like go outside and then go back inside and then go back outside, why am I rebuffing? Oh my god. Okay, that's a meme.
It's okay. We can deflect the beam.
Oh my god, dude, I just couldn't look backwards.
That's fine. He's one hit.
He's actually not one hit yet.
Oh no!
Dude, the flying ball. So yeah, basically, I go outside here to make his AI activate, and then I go inside, and somehow like that stops him from doing the animation that he's supposed to do. And in this idle state, it becomes possible to death blow him with an aerial death blow. Yeah, the mistake here was that I, for some reason, rebuffed with Yashuriku, so I didn't make it in time.
Yeah, a little bit of commentator's curse, but it seems that
third Danflesh. Yeah,
we
we
made
see
it.
the item and it's time.
Let's go.
that was. I mean, that was a second full death. First full death was gone for, right? 115.21 was watching ending cutscene. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Also underestimate.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm not surprised. Run was actually not bad. Like no major mistakes. You know, pretty safe. A lot of failures and strats, but generally pretty smooth, I would say.
Yeah, I thought the backup was really cool there too, and yeah, overall just went smooth. I've never played Sekiro myself, but I've heard that it's like really hard.
It's
so
you gotta play it. It's awesome.
Don't play it. I actually don't like Sekiro. My least favorite is from software game, but the speedrun of it is very cool.
What is the self-torture? First we had
It's not
Tegan, now we have
self-torture.
Dan
No,
going
no,
like,
I mean,
I don't
wait.
like this game.
Wait. I mean, I don't like this game casually. You know, like I really did not like my first playthrough of it. Well, I liked it to an extent, but to a very limited extent. While the speedrunning of this game, like, concentrates fully on the strong parts of the game for me. So, for me, speedrunning is much more enjoyable than playing casually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, thanks
it makes sense.
for having me. Thank you, Holm, for co-commentating.
No
Thanks
problem.
to Maral for hosting
Reading
my
some
run,
donations.
and yeah, thanks for people to contribute to a great cause. I'm actually gonna be back on SCM on Sunday. I'm gonna be part of the insane PvP any % relay run, which hopefully will be a lot of fun. But yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here and for doing this and helping raise funds for Save the Children. Thank you as well, Holm. You guys were terrific.
Thank you.
So super happy to have you here. Thank you. All right. We're going to head off to the intermission screen and get ready for the next game, which is Dark Souls. And it is the Lord of the Rings category by Goofball the Cat. So All right, everybody. So that was the end of my hosting shift. I don't know what I did with the chat. I can't see the chat for some reason, but I am sure that everyone is being very nice and very behaved and very good ones. Next up, you'll be seeing Ashwin being your wonderful, wonderful host. She has been working so hard on this event, so give her a lot of love, please. And thank you so much, everybody, for your generous donations. This has been an incredible kickoff to Souls Charity Marathon 2023. It is our 7th year, and I am overwhelmed, but also so happy, like in a positive way, overwhelmed in a positive way, by all the support and the community at large. Like, we all come together for this event every year, and every single year I am blown away by just how wholesome and fun this community is, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the event, and I hope you do too. So we're going to be watching a Save the Children video, a quick reminder of one of the many reasons in which why we come together. Of course, we come together for the community and the love of souls, but also to help kindle these souls to live a long and joyous life with opportunity, to learn, to have access to healthcare, and to be protected from harm. So with that said, I'm off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be in the chat still, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. Bye bye.
İlk günlere göre yani gerçekten bu hayat saray gibi diyelim. Yani eksiklerimiz var ama depremin ilk günlerindeki gibi değil.
وصار زلزال صار خوف كنت مع سنام بنام ما بخاف من هالزلزال